Ranch Pizza is going to be taking on the champions of the Overwatch Open Division, going back a season, the Savages. And Jason, I feel like you'd have to be a little bit savage to order Chicken Ranch Pizza. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, first of all, Chicken Ranch Pizza sounds amazing. Buffalo Chicken Ranch Pizza, oh my god. But I was thinking more of maybe the Savage is the type of pizza. You know, like meat lovers, like Savage type of pizza, like every type of meat you could ever think of existing. So you got like your alligator, your snake, your kangaroo, you got your elk, some human meat in there, some dog maybe, some cat, some sausage, bacon.
Whoa. PETA wasn't going to object for the first round of animals, but you just said dogs and cats get served.
You don't like sausage?
Ooh.
Or do you not like bacon?
Bacon is good.
Oh, I thought you had a problem with the bacon or something.
No. Continue.
It's good to know that you had a problem with the dog and the cat, but when I said human, you let that one go.
Did you even say human? I didn't hear.
Yes.
Well, whatever. Anyways, we're going to get away from the topic of pizza and talk about pizza, which is the Chicken Ranch Pizza team. Of course, it's going to be Sharp on Tracer, Keller on Genji, Vol on Flex, Smurf, not Kaiser for now, going to be on Tank, Gray on Flex Support, and Aid on Lucio. And Sharp is an interesting name, Jason, because people should remember Sharp from back when he played with Bazooka Puppies on a week or two, and he was actually quite good on Tracer.
He also played with Zave, Epsa, and Latex as well in a team like back in, I think this was like October. So like he's played with a lot of really well-known people. I want to point out Keller though, because I got to talk to Alicus before we did start today, and he was saying, yeah, Keller was really well known for his hit scan DPS, but they've been training him to be a projectile DPS for the team.
I got a chance to watch Keller's hit scan DPS and scrims, and there's no doubt about it. His hit scan play is incredible, but he's also a bit of a prodigy on his projectile play from what I've seen, and even though he's a little bit newer to it, he's been impressive in what I've seen here so far. But now, we go to the setup. Ace of Spades eats quite a bit of damage, has to leap back up, and Chicken Ranch Pizza just going to be setting the stage for a dive-in. Starting to contest Big Earls on the top right now, and Keller diving to the back line. Zenyatta into sights, but he's well protected by D.Va, but perhaps not enough. Sharp came in from the opposite flank. Zenyatta is down, and Chicken Ranch Pizza now beginning the assault.
And you can just see like a complete difference to the way the Savages are playing his defense with a soldier versus the way we saw FU University play, where you have Keiko actually sticking with the team a lot closer instead of sitting far back trying to punish the dive. Again, the dive comes back in, the payload's not being moved, but Gray's in so much free room, able to spam away and get a lot of healing off to the side. No one's attacking him or Aid at the moment, and they're just pushing the payload while the fight's breaking out towards the right-hand side.
The fight's breaking out towards the right-hand side, but Derek and Hui were able to do a little bit to help bring that back. Heller, though, has built up a blade in the chaos, brings it in. One support, looking for more. Both supports out of the fight to Keller's blade, and suddenly Chicken Ranch Pizza delivering themselves onto the payload. But that self-destruct takes down Sharp, who's been important here, and the Savages might not be giving this up here just yet, though they are on the back foot as Derek gets his head cut cleanly right off.
Isn't there something like, delivery in 5 minutes or less, or it's free? Because they only have 2.5 minutes left to get this payload delivered to the first checkpoint here. But it looks like they should be able to do it. They have enough people alive. They're focusing targets down correctly. Vol's even zoning off some people towards the right-hand side. And Keller, well, I heard a little bit there, the oh my. He's doing some serious work here so far.
That was serious cleanup. Just good usage of the dash resets. Right in there with Vol assassinating Plasma Snake, where, look, that's just a misplay by Plasma Snake. There was no reason he should have been out there as a support that deep in, and that's going to stagger things a bit and make things more difficult for the Savages.
Well, also people just want to kind of brush him out. At least see a lot of people talking about Kaiser, and he's not here. That's due to his internet not being stable. But Smurf as well is like a ridiculously good tank player, as well as told from Alicus. He's been outperforming a lot of the other tanks that you would know from Korea, so definitely don't count him out just yet.
Well, here's a dive in from Chicken Ranch Pizza, supported by the sound barrier. The bomb connects from Sharp, and Keller, he's built up a blade midway through. He can drop it after the Transcendence, and he does. Says, yep, I'm going in on this. Everyone's going to fall in a glorious fashion. No need for subtlety here. Although both supports died, Ace of Spades got into the back and got both Zen and Lucio during the carnage. And though I don't know if it's going to be enough to back it up, D-Max Vol, Ace of Spades is a one-man wrecking crew.
This was a song that Bam Margera sang, like with his band called Ace of Spades. I mean, doing some serious work here, honestly. Picking up the double supports like you mentioned, able to help force out even another tank. The thing is, they still have lost too many people, and the reinforcements are there for the attacking side of Chicken Ranch Pizza as they're pushing and barreling down on the second checkpoint.
They are making sure this pizza is delivered piping hot, Jason.
Oh, you make me so hungry, ZP.
Look, I'm doing it to myself as well, though. I did sort of solve my problem, which I'll talk about later. But great. Good positioning here in the back. About to have Transcendence up. Plasma Snake's going to fall here early on. And now Chicken Ranch Pizza, they're going to use the Transcendence and just group around it on the payload. Very difficult to actually contest the mid-Transcendence like this. And there's just not the personnel and not the ultimate power on the side of the Savages to actually contest this in a reasonable way. Chicken Ranch Pizza setting a very quick time.
Can someone give me, like, the delivery service for this pizza? Because I want my pizza to come that quickly. 4 minutes left, and they're still almost done, or getting to the point of being done with the third checkpoint and finish off this half. Because they have a lot of utility to use right now. They got the Pulse Bomb, which Sharp is looking for an avenue to release it towards the left-hand side. You got Volt, the Self-Destruct, and Keller. Again, another Blade ready to go.
Which is ridiculous. You have read my mind, and just going to the next point is that, by the way, Keller might have Blade again. Definitely has Blade again. Diving in. The tanks are in. Keller is in. It's a coordinated dive. Plasma Snake blown right up. The Blade from Keller not connecting onto as much as he would like, but was still focusing on tank damage. Ace of Spades going to fall despite the fancy moves. However, Chicken Ranch Pizza doesn't do enough to keep momentum up on the payload. They're going to have to back out and reset.
I think, ZP, this is going to be one of the hardest, casted days we're going to have for a long time. Because I swear to God, I just heard you say Plasma Steak and pizza. It's making me so hungry.
I think he should change the name of the Plasma Steak. Like, what would that even taste like? Do you get it from a plasma bull, a plasma cow? I don't really know, but Ace of Spades gonna get pulse bombed directly in the face by Sharp. Sharp, hot pursuit, sees end for good measure. However, here comes Kappa. Barrier up protecting him. Tac visor up, but he doesn't have any targets in his line of sight. He's getting a bit confused here, and instead, Smurfs in his face with Primal Rage. Bull is there in the backup. Sharp on the other side. But it's going to be Derek who takes down Aid. I don't know if it's enough, though. Chicken Ranch Pizza maintaining a bit of dominance, but the support play of the Savages actually helping to even this out a bit, as this is an all-out melee.
I've been watching Gray a lot during these fights. He just seems to have so much freedom. No one's really diving him. Derek hasn't been trying to track him down. Neither has Ace of Spades jumping on top of him, except when we saw that fight on second point. They're giving a lot of freedom to Gray, and that just means a lot more Discord orbs. It leads a lot more damage out of him. Most importantly, it means a lot more Transcendences, because he's going to have it up now. And again, they have the Self-Destruct with Vol. Is charging those up so fast, actually. He's like almost on par with like building up a Blade. Well, he's a little bit behind, but he's still getting relatively close to it.
This is the window right now for Chicken Ranch Pizza. And the key is this Transcendence. Gray is being aggressive because he's going to immediately swap the Transcendence when he gets to that moment. Sharp blows up Kappa. A well-placed Pulse Bomb. Gray still in the back. Doesn't he transcend? Oh no, he doesn't transcend in time. Derek catches him right away, and now they're gonna have to win this without Transcendence, which Killer says, okay, pulls out the Blade, dives with Ball, moves to the back line, searching for Derek, keeps him off the payload, and this could actually work out well for them, Jason, because they're gonna be able to transcend as soon as Gray gets back.
Well, they might not even need him to come back at this rate. They haven't lost anyone. Somehow Aid's keeping everyone healthy just with his Lucio. The Transcendence will be used as he zooms back in on top of the point. The Pulse Bomb's gonna land on Hui, gets him desuited, and Derek's gonna fall to Smurf. Looks like the payload will cross the line eventually here. And that Chicken Ranch Pizza you ordered, well, it's made it on time.
It's made it with a minute 20 to spare, and if words are to be believed, it was delicious. Now, we'll see what the Savages have in store as we swap sides.
We're really killing ourselves.
We are.
Can we just call him CRP?
No.
I just don't want to keep saying pizza because I'm so hungry.
Sounds like the company that makes Eve. Like, what is their, It's a three-letter thing for the company that makes
Aeon?
Eve.
SOS?
No.
I don't know.
Unless it changed, I don't know.
Because the only game for me is Overwatch.
There you go.
Do you mean Soy, like in Soylent, one of our sponsors here? And if you're interested in trying out their products, you can take it for 50% off if you scroll below the video and click on the banner. As well as Twitch, Faceit, AMD SteelSeries.
And if your website wasn't loading as quick as you would like, consider upgrading to a brand new AMD processor. I hear they're pretty good at that, loading web pages.
And if you need a way to open the web page, why not buy a new mouse from SteelSeries so you can actually click and open up your web pages?
And don't forget that if you ever want to participate in competition after you get your Soylent and you just feel yourself inspired by these players, check out Face It, who provides great competitive platforms for gaming today.
And if you want to play competitively, you're going to need a keyboard along with that mouse. Head over to SteelSeries to pick up a keyboard as well.
All right, we're done. We're going to talk about the
come on. You had Twitch. You had Twitch in there still.
Look, Twitch, they know they're on Twitch right now. They know we're sponsored by Twitch. They are memeing in Twitch chat. I think Twitch is covered.
All right, I understand. Anyways, back into the second half of our first map. It's actually our 4th best of 5 today. The time has gone by. Well, not even quickly, technically, because we're 3.5 hours in and we've already been through 3 best of 5s. But it's going to be Chicken Ranch Pizza up against the Savages, the winners of open season I believe it was last season, if you said correct, or if I heard correctly from you. And so now going to be trying the attack on Route 66.
They're going to be on the attack, and we'll see just what they have in store. Going to have to get through the defense of Chicken Ranch Pizza, which will be featuring a Sombra, and Gray has one of the most fearsome Sombras in the game, as any professional player would tell you. So now that I've said that, let's watch Gray die in the very beginning
I was
here.
about to say,
No, I'm totally caster cursed him, but Smurf over the top. Mario's on top of Plasma Snake. And Gray just saying a little bit of extra damage during the exchange, building up EMP. Hasn't built up too much here yet, but the bulk of EMP building up kind of happens after the fight, Jason, where you get to get on the health packs as a team.
Gotta be careful. They don't want to lose too many people. Kappa's been able to get a double kill onto the tanks. I mean, luckily it's Winston and D.Va, so you're gonna get back to the point really quickly anyways. But still, you want to be able to keep everyone alive. You want to keep this aggressive defense to allow the Sombra to work out for you.
Well, aggressive, definitely. Oh, he almost takes out Plasma Snake. Plasma Snake wasn't even moving there, and Gray was very close to a free pickoff, just barely saved in the nick of time by, not Vol, but Hui. Gray going to the back line once more. Zenyatta, his prey. And again, they're just isolating Plasma Snake as much as they can. Keller was there in the fall through. Plasma Snake removed from the fight. And an EMP, Jason, is now charged up for the fight after this one.
They lost Keller, though. Kalun was able to get a nice knockoff onto him as he's trying to 1v2 against the Lucio, and I believe it was a Tracer. But they're still on the payload. They've still been able to hold them back here. 2.5 minutes left to go on the clock. And they've been able to start to now cycle up some ultimates. You got the Dragon Blade coming up, you got the Self-Destruct, you got the Primal Rage Suit, you even have the EMP on top of this. Plasma Snake is at 64% on his Transcendence, and I want you to keep a track of his percent. Because if Chicken Ranch Pizza attack the way I think they're going to, he's going to stay without an ultimate for the next minute if they can EMP him correctly.
Right,
or
because
Gray
got picked off. No, it's not going to go to the script at all. There's no EMP, there's no easily dead Zenyatta, but there is a fight back here from Chicken Ranch Pizza. The blade out from Keller, dives to the back, Plasma Snake going to fall anyways. And Chicken Ranch Pizza on the verge here, and yet they're still able to fight this back. Kappa, one of the last people up, looking for Sharp, not able to stop him from getting to the health pack, and even without the EMP, Chicken Ranch Pizza has bought themselves some serious time.
They definitely have. I mean, Gray, he's gonna be able to come back in. As long as he stays alive, that's what's really important, and he will just barely escape to help the Translocator, but he doesn't have a way to heal. He's trying to run back towards his own supports, but the supports are actually not in his position. Either way, he gets healed back up because he has the Mega there, and you're gonna look for the engagement. Like, him and a Self-Destruct out of Vol would be so sexy right now because you're not gonna have a shield to put down to block this.
And that you gotta think that's what Gray's looking for. He's not contested as he goes in, drops the EMP, immediately deletes Plasma Snake, who did have Transcendence. And here comes the blade, this time from Derek. Looking for anything, instead just getting neutralized by Smurf, bopped around in the worst way. One-man advantage right now for Chicken Ranch Pizza, but you look at the health situation, they're very much winning this fight. Both flanking DPS are going to fall, and now the Savages down to their final attempt to eat this pizza.
What's so frustrating for Capo is the fact that he gets into the back line, but then he gets hacked by Gray, and it's like, who are you gonna kill? Are you gonna kill a Sombra who can teleport and stealth away? Are you gonna kill a Lucio who can boop you and speed away? A Winston or a D.Va who are tanky and can leave you, as well as a Tracer and a Genji can do just the same. So Capo isn't able to get the kills he's looking for just yet because the comp he's up against.
Well, early EMP, Plasma Snake going to fall immediately. Well executed by Chicken Ranch Pizza. And now they have 23 seconds, Jason, to move forward. Plasma Snake might even have to just preemptively transcend here just to get things into overtime.
Oh, and Derek has even switched over to McCree from Genji, so they've lost another person that could potentially touch the payload. They're going to be coming in through the under part of the cave, most likely, or I would assume they're actually might just go to the high ground.
This is where you want to be known as Savages and not a variant of C9 Plasma Snake. You got to transcend to the payload now, and nope, they're going to get there just in time. Winston dives in, they're holding on to it, and an early transcend by Plasma Snake in response to the Dragon Blade. will keep his team somewhat healthy, but not everyone was able to go in and around it. Derek was still picked off on the fringe. 3-0 in favor of Chicken Ranch Pizza, and even with the Transcendence opening, it's not going to be enough. Chicken Ranch Pizza defend the payload, defend themselves, and it's looking like map 1 will be theirs.
They will not be eaten today, ZP.
They deliver, but they don't allow you to eat them, or something like that. I don't know. We're working.
That'd be the worst pizza delivery service ever. You can have the pizza, but you can't eat it. But that was just like the aggressive defense out of Chicken Ranch Pizza was just so overwhelming. You could see just time and time again, they're able to get the dive they wanted to. Plasma Snake wasn't able to stay safe from the EMPs. Great. I mean, again, you talk about these great 6-man EMPs or 5-man EMPs, but honestly, as long as he EMPs the Zenyatta, which was Plasma Snake in that situation, you kill him, then you almost have a one fight anyways. You prevent those constant transcendences from coming up, which then allows your Genji to be even stronger.
I would say here is that everything you mentioned, the theory level there is correct. The problem that I think the Savages had is that even when EMP wasn't up, Plasma Snake was getting isolated. And yes, part of this is because there is an enormous amount of pressure being applied by both Sharp and Keller in conjunction with the tank frontline of Vol and Smurf. But you can't be getting first picked 3, 4, 5 fights in a row, whatever it was, where Plasma Snake was just the target of interest no matter what. There comes a point where you have to sort of realize that there's that level of pressure going in and just play more defensively. Make Chicken Ranch Pizza go even deeper if they want to commit on that first Zenyatta kill.
Well, that's what I'm curious about, ZP, is like, at what point, because obviously you want to like stay safe, right? You want to keep your distance away from your team. But like, at what point are you too far away or too far away to be valuable to your team? Because I was just thinking about that. I was like, yeah, you just keep them farther away from your team, right? You should be fine. But then you have Gray who stealths on you and potentially kills you. You have a Tracer and a Genji who have the cave system to use to get behind you. You have a Winston and a Diva who can like jump to close some sort of gap. Maybe was it time for him to just switch from a Zen to something else?
Against someone running Sombra like Gray, that's always an option, just because of the fact that, look, once EMP is in progress, it's no surprise what the game plan is, right? Where you're going to use the EMP, take down the Zenyatta's health with the EMP, and then just barely look in his direction to kill him, because Zenyatta is quite shy. So, I don't know. I do think he could have swapped off to something else there, even, say, like a Moira would have been improvement, but...
I'm just imagining now Zenyatta, like, blushing, you know, like the anime type of thing, and he's like, oh, senpai or something like that.
He's actually a pretty big tsundere.
Yeah, there we go. I was about to say, like, what was the shark meme with that?
Don't worry, I got you with that.
Yeah, you got me.
What was it? Was it Sun Shark? Dairy Shark?
I don't remember.
How do words work, Jason? I don't know.
You think we both know how to, considering it's our job, but no, sometimes we don't. So we're moving into what, Lijiang Tower next as our second map. Already with how one side of that first map is, it does lead way to potentially seeing another 3-0, but this is the time now for the Savages to adapt. This is their map pick. This is their opportunity to kind of take a map here and just show what they kind of got, especially on this kind of game mode where it favors teams who are like less organized.
Well, we have a very big disparity in team compositions here, and I wonder if the Savages are living in the past, because they're not running a Reinhardt here. They're not running a Zarya. And Ryan Zarya are excellent at controlling space in these smaller areas. It feels like, unless they have the dive of the gods here, Jason, that they're going to get out-sustained and out-poked very quickly.
To be fair for them, though, they have a lot of damage. So if they like get past Smurf, they can potentially finish off a couple different targets. But getting to that point is going to be very difficult, especially when you have like a shield like that out of Smurf just kind of in your way, in your face. You can already see them giving up a lot of ground. Considering they want to be very divey with the Tracer and the Genji, but it looks like Cape was able to get in the position he needed to get behind Gray to pick up the kill.
The double flankers are able to get into the support line, and that's one way they can win this fight. But they're going to have to do that consistently over and over again to sort of win on this tanking disparity. That is their winning path, but I just wonder, can they continue to do this for the rest of the Control Center?
I could see two ways they could. I mean, if they hold this front door, there's actually a couple of paths to get outside that you can flank around with. If you let them come in, there's a hell of a lot more different positions you can attack with. I'm just more worried, though, if it's going to work as successfully as they hope. But I think after some point, you know, Chicken Ranch Pizza are going to wise up to it. And it seems like they've been able to as they switch their comp around.
Yeah, they swapped here, and the key note here is that they're running a Diva versus this heavy DPS setup of the Savages. And it's going to put one Bull to just neutralize the Junkrat where possible, get in on the bombs. But Derek, built up a blade early off the first fight, takes down Aid early on, and is able to demech Vol for good measure, cuts him right up, and the Savages still in firm control. And one thing that's worth noting too is that because Chicken Ranch Pizza did that swap up, Jason, they're behind on ult economy, particularly for their tanks.
Yeah. I mean, Smurf's about, like, let's just say, we should call it 20%. And actually running a solo tanks, there's a lot of damage that Chicken Ranch Pizza is not able to really kind of, you know, meet up with in terms of just beating raw DPS. But Kellen the Genji's still sticking up the side. Genji's still 75% on his blade. He's actually gotten to the back line to go for Plasma Snake. He's been able to pick him off here, most importantly, and somehow, during all that, Gray got a Discord on Plasma Snake. I don't even see how he even got an angle onto that, but he did, which allowed Keller to pick up that kill.
And now it's going to be first capture for Chicken Ranch Pizza. And Keller was just in the backline that entire time there, Jason, where he's being a threat, eventually wore down Plasma Snake. And now, as a result of doing all that damage, he's going to have Blade up, and Gray snipes down Derek from downtown. That's going to buy Chicken Ranch Pizza a good 15-20% for sure.
And, I mean, most importantly, it's buying time for them to build up the old discrepancy that they were behind with. You see Hui now switching over from Junkrat, though, to D.Va, so they are mirroring the D.Va. Pretty much mirroring the exact same composition out of both teams, and Plasma Snake gets the better of Gray this time.
Keller there for the salty run back, but it's already a huge fight in favor of the Savages. The early pick off of Plasma Snake set the tone, and they just dove right in. As soon as they had that edge, the Savages sensed blood in the water, and now it's a simple cleanup where Smurf is buying a little bit of extra time while they still have control, but now it's going to flip the other way. And Chicken Ranch Pizza going to be putting a lot of faith here, Jason, in this upcoming Blade.
You're killing me by saying Chicken Ranch Pizza so often. I can hear how hungry you are, like, for a pizza. You know what, give me your address and I'll order you one.
Alright, I will do that.
So, setting up for the next fight here, looks like we do have the Savages back in Away City back, waiting for the engagement. They force out a Transcendence themselves to get aggressive with, as now Keller's using the blade once the Transcendence has worn off. He has his own Transcendence to give him help, and he's diving into the D.Va.
Keller was able to get to the zone behind the Transcendence, took down Hui after getting demeched, and now Chicken Ranch Pizza making their way through. Derek, though, a late blade of his own, finds Gray, gets aid, both supports out of the fight. Derek keeping this alive for the Savages here. We're in overtime, and now respawns are coming in. They could push us back, although there's Derek. He's off on a ride to the moon and then some. And he's not even a cryptocurrency.
Not past that 20k mark. He's on that full ride down into the depth. Bull, though, going head-to-head against Hui. Has a sound barrier coming as well to help them be healthy enough as aid doing what his name provides, or name says, to keep his teammates up and running. They actually are able to defend this one and turn it back around. And now we're going to see the Savages have to go in for another attack. I do have to ask this question, though, ZP. What the hell does a yellow circle mean on an ultimate compared to a blue circle?
What does a yellow circle mean on an ultimate?
Capo has yellow, but other ones are blue.
I actually have no idea. That doesn't really make too much sense to me. Aside from the fact that you build up Pulse Bomb quicker, but that shouldn't even be a thing. Anyways, Kappa moving in. Pulse Bomb connects onto D.Va. Gonna demech Bull here in a hurry. Now Bull out of the mech. Self-destruct from Hui clears the way. It's a two-man advantage right now for the Savages, and they have Chicken Ranch Pizza on the back foot. This pizza is getting cut up.
Slice and dice into 8 delicious pizzas to share with all your friends, or if you're me, just eat it all yourself. The overtime is taken away. It looks like we're gonna have Sharp touch the point, the nick of time to keep it in contention. But now they're gonna be a man down. Now 2 is 8 falls. They're gonna touch the point again, but they don't have the people, they don't have the damage, they don't have the ultimates. And I think we're gonna see the first round taken for the Savages.
This is just a hope and a prayer right now. Keller, a blade out. Ray of the Coalescence. Is it gonna be enough? No, it's not. Derek pulls out a blade of his own, dives to the back, pushes out Tracer. Overtime is over, and the Savages striking back here on a hotly contested Legion.
Yeah, so you're noticing that too, right? That some of the ultimates have a yellow. Or
I mean, I was
circle,
gleefully not noticing it, but now it's just going to trigger any sort of OCD I have, so thank you, Jason.
Dashler, do you have any idea what that is? If you can tell us. Okay, he doesn't have any idea. Alright, so, none of us have any idea what that means. No, maybe someone in chat will. It's just because it's tilting me because it looks like a pizza. It's like the crust of a pizza.
No,
Like
why are
golden
you doing
crispy
this
crust.
to me? This is terrible. Just because they're named Chicken Ranch Pizza, and just because we're hungry, and just because you personally have just a ridiculous love of ranch, you know what? Doesn't matter. We're moving
I live in Germany,
tonight,
bro.
yes.
They don't know what ranch is. They don't know. Alright, so
Fun
we're seeing the
story.
Go ahead.
No, fun story. Jason loves ranch. We'll get to it later. It's not much of a story now, is it?
Just that I love ranch. Fire Mercy gonna be on the side though. The Savages, as they're looking to push them to the point, they actually go around the far side of it, giving up the ground on the initial point in the courtyard. Chicken Ranch Pizza, and the first kills are already traded, one apiece for both teams.
All right, and it's Ace of Spades that's down here though, which is gonna make control for Savages really difficult. They're down that Winston player. Smurf's still very much alive, and Derek doesn't have much to work with here in the outskirts, where you can get poke as a Pharah here, Jason, but when your tanks are down and they can't dive in to finish what you start, it's difficult to make much of it.
And also now when you're attacking with the Pharah versus the defending part, it's a little bit more difficult, where Pharah here can defend a lot of different avenues you can attack with. I mean, at least with the Pharah here, you can, while attacking, you can come around the backside and you can potentially pull off the back cap or force enemy teams to like retreat and give the attention to you. But they've just completely let them get on top of the point. They're just going for the retake.
Are they gonna get? They almost got it for free. Chicken Ranch Pizza though says, yeah, we're coming right back into it. Keller, 83%, looking for the kill on the Tracer right now. Can't dash confirm it here just yet. Ace of Spades already out of the fight. Decent control being held by Chicken Ranch Pizza. Keller, 93%, 94, holding on with the rest of his team. Blade is up, and he just used an anti-air Dragon Blade, slices Derek out of the skies. And that's one way to finish out a fight.
And I like how they, well, I like it, I like it, because they're running like a dive comp, right? So they actually let the Savages get on top of point, and then they all just dive in together, because they're a dive composition, and they're forced to fight the way they want to. Instead of receiving the attack of the enemy team, they force the fight themselves, even by giving up the points. So really well done. 60% now and counting, and they seem to have the control they did not have in that last round.
Not only do they have a fair bit of control, they're also a bit ahead on ult economy for this next fight. Aid holding onto the barrier, although the way they're positioned right now, he can't really drop it. He needs people to sort of go to the middle and group up, and now that they have, he drops the barrier. Keller wasn't able to receive the barrier, but might not matter here. They're keeping control. They're going to invest in Transcendence as well, and now we see Sharp on the back, looking for a last little bit of cleanup. Derek in his sights, has the Pulse Bomb. Will he go for it on the Fair Mercy combo? Probably not, but they don't need to here, Jason. They're in firm control.
You saw Ace of Spades just constantly trying to knock people off the map, but he just wasn't able to really get much of that, even with the help of the Primal Rage there. Coming back in though, Derek on the far is going to come in from the side. He has Barrage almost up to be able to use, but Keller as well. It's close to that Dragon Blade. Self-destruct being thrown in on top of the point. Looks like it won't connect with anyone, but it will zone some people away.
Overtime in progress. Lucio just trying to buy some time. That's Calhoun in and on the outskirts, but it's going to require a Herculean effort as Chicken Ranch Pizza just dominating the point on numbers, turning Ace of Spades into a firework as Sharp, and that is going to be Chicken Ranch Pizza evening up the round. And now we go to a third and final round here, Jason, as we move forward onto the Garden.
All right, so Garden will, I mean, we expect to see some Pharah as well, right? We've already had it happen. And every match day, there's been always at least one Pharah. We got to see who are you on Pharah, but in the initial lineups we're seeing, it looks like it's going to be soldiers. Plasma Stake, I would assume he's not going to be sticking a soldier. They need a little support. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit better. So we're going to see the Pharah to Derek yet again. But Keller's going to be on the soldier, and we've already talked about before how he's been known as a legendary hit scan DPS. You even pointed out in some of the scrims that you've seen that he's still that kind of level.
Yes.
He's going to be there to deal with Derek, and I kind of worry how this is going to go for him.
Keller's ability to flex is very good, and I am interested in Keller's point of view here, where normally we'd look to the sky, but I want to look to the ground right now and see what Keller prioritizes. And so far, he's not giving Derek a whole lot of mind here. Instead, the focus is very clear. Win the ground war, and that's what they do. The focus fire on the Calhoun pays off. Lucio out of the fight, and they're just acting as if Derek doesn't exist, and it's worked out here, Jason. They win the ground war, and it's going to give them the first control of this point.
I mean, that's one way to go about it. Just ignore the Pharah, and then just kill everyone on the ground. And actually, it's forced him to switch away, so they've lost the Valkyrie build-up that they've had. They've switched Plasma Spake now over to Zenyatta, and they got Derek over onto Genji. They're going to dive directly in. Keller is going to be able to keep his distance, though. Plasma Stake gets picked off because he was respawned back in sharp. Flanking her in the back gets a double kill.
I'm just going to note, you definitely just called him Plasma Steak, not Steak. And I'm even hungrier now as Capo eats the rifle butt of doom from Keller at the very end. Chicken Ranch Pizza dealing with the dive very well. And now we're starting to get to a phase where the ultimate economy is going to rear its ugly head, where the next fight might not even be that close.
I'm just going to keep messing with you now with Plasma Stake. I have so many ideas what to use.
No.
But he's only at 20% of his Transcendence, so he's going to be very far behind on Gray. Keller's going to have his Tactical Visor, which is not a great ultimate to have in this position because it's just, well, it's just too much terrain. There's too much stuff blocking you from actually using it, so he's have to get up close and personal if he wants to pop it.
And Keller doesn't even have to use Attack Visor here, just hiding in the back. The engage to the right side from the Savages just wasn't very well coordinated. They got caught off by the tanks, and really not too much more to say there. Just clean and easy by Chicken Ranch Pizza. And the Savages quickly down to their final 2 attempts here, Jason.
And we're seeing something reminiscent of the first map where Plasma Burrito just constantly gets flanked into the backside.
That wasn't even close.
He's just not able to stay alive. He's constantly being focused. They need a little bit more protection for him.
Well, I'll tell you what, Plasma, Quesadilla, he's a good player, and we're just going to run with this. Keller, Tactical Visor up to the back, using it to pressure out Tracer. Capo, not able to get to the other side, as Sharp explodes into the back, a triple kill Pulse Bomb, and now Chicken Ranch Pizza, one team fight away from putting the Savages to bed.
And look how many ultimates they have here, ZP. I mean, 4 ultimates up against the 2. They're going to have a sound barrier for Kalyun, but how far are you really going to be able to get with this one? That's coming from that right-hand side. And they're always the threat of being booped away. The subject can be thrown to the back. Looks like everyone will escape for the most part as they jump in very shoddily onto point.
And here comes Plasma Churro, has the Transcendence at the ready. He's gonna have to use it here immediately with all that cinnamon goodness. Sound barrier up, now Transcendence on the point. Capo, though, not in time to benefit from it, as Plasma Snake is quite literally getting booped and bopped around. Meanwhile, barrier up for the side of Chicken Ranch Pizza, as Derek brings out the blade, strikes down Keller, but I don't think it's gonna be enough, as so far, Chicken Ranch Pizza holding a firm edge right now on the point. Still, we see Ace of Spades able to take down Vol. There might be life in there yet.
Again, the focus on Plasma Fondue. Keller was able to get in there direct on top of him and get the kill. And now he's been forced to switch him over to Moira so he can get back to the point quicker and maybe have some more survivability. But the overtime is ticked away. Derek isn't going to be there in time. And just like that, Chicken Ranch Pizza picks up a second map victory.
A little bit more chaotic than Chicken Ranch Pizza would have liked there towards the end, but very firm control and just disrupting the ideal engages of the Savages. And, you know, let's not forget the Savages, they've done super well in the open division, but this might just be one of those reality checks here where you're going up against players that are very clearly contenders level. So a little bit of a rough baptism here for the Savages, I would say.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind that I remember talking to like some teams over the course of all the events I've done. It's sometimes hard to get scrims against certain teams. Like if you're a really good team and like say you're a tier 1 team or an OWL team and some tier 2 or tier 3 team comes up to you like, hey, you want to scrim? There's not a good chance to actually get to play against them, you know, to learn where your weaknesses are and learn to what you can do to improve. So I think, you know, if you're an open team, even, you know, a team that we recognize like the Savages, they're still going to have a hard time finding like higher caliber teams to play maybe. Or maybe it's just something that they need to like take some time and just get some experience together against some of these better teams and these different strategies.
I think the experience is definitely worthwhile, and I mean, this is a case where they are getting some of the best experience they could get right now, where even if this ends up being a loss where Chicken Ranch Pizza sweeps the day, even if food players on their team like Plasma Salad are not able to carry the load, you know, it's
You
still...
ruined it. You ruined it.
Have I really?
Come on,
Are you
delicious.
are you calling it now?
I mean, you called him Plasma Salad.
I mean, can we not do a thing where we just like decrease deliciousness as the match goes on?
But how is a churro less delicious than a burrito? What? Where's your thought process on that?
I don't know. I'm all over the place right now, Jason. I'm not saying any of the previous parts have made sense, but I will say one thing is that if the Savages win, Plasma will ascend to become Plasma Soylent.
God damn it.
One of our glorious sponsors here at the Overwatch Beat Invitational. Jason often laments the fact that he can't get Soylent in Germany right now.
I tried once, and they're like, I'm sorry, we don't deliver to Germany yet, but when we do, we'll let you know. I'm still waiting for that email. We're going to Kings Row next. It looks like between these two teams. Vol, very well-known Zarya player, so this is going to be right up his avenue. I think Keller has shown he's damn good Genji. Sharp's been doing a great job on Tracer. Greatest position has been really on point. I think a lot of the power in Kings Row for teams comes into their tank play. So I wonder how well Smurf and Vol are together. I believe Smurf is actually like 16, 17, if I'm not mistaken, like relatively young. So I wonder how well they're going to be able to work together on a map like this.
Yep, and just to remind people here, as Kaiser was advertised, Kaiser's internet has simply run away from him, as it turns out, where Okay, look, that you gotta give me some credit on that. But he's having internet issues, so the story goes. So that's why we're not seeing everyone's favorite Reinhardt drop the hammer. Hopefully, we will see him soon.
I hope so. Actually, you know what's funny? So when I was in China with Jamerson casting the APAC tournament, you know those little nameplates that go on the monitors so people can see who's playing, like who's where.
Yeah.
We found like a box of them just like left as they're like shutting down the whole thing and like tearing up the place. So Jamerson and I snagged some, and I have Runaway Kaiser as one of them. It's actually in my other room right now.
You just need to pair that with a Runaway sweatshirt if you were lucky enough to have one, and then you'll be golden. You know, if you did get one, that'd be the greatest thing to rub in Hex's face.
Dude, Jamerson's got so much swag, it's ridiculous. He got a whole Vici outfit, like the pants and like the jacket given to him. They couldn't do it for me because I was too tall. I'm too big. I don't think they have extra large.
For those who don't know, Jason is like 6'7". He is incredibly tall.
No, that's reinforced. I'm just 6'6". That 1 inch matters.
He's so modest too. Is the important part here.
Well, to be fair, Hex and Jamerson were catching OWPS. Were on boxes next to me. So.
You know you've done well when they're like on 2 or 3 boxes, 3 Hex boxes, but
it was called Hex Box 1 was what we used.
Oh boy. Well, we are getting into the defense here for Chicken Ranch Pizza, and we're not seeing anything that's too tank heavy here. They're gonna be running a Ryan Zarya, but they're still very much willing to run double DPS to support. So I think it's interesting to see meta-wise the different takes from the different teams that we've had so far here, Jason.
I'm actually surprised to see Sharp on the Tracer with the Junkrat. I was expecting like someone else, maybe a third tank instead of the 2-2-2 with the Junkrat there, so you can kind of play like a shield war. For the attack though of the Savages, you've got what triple tank set up with McCree. That's pretty deadly to be fair. It's just gonna be hard to deal with Keller.
It also makes Derek a big target. If you can take down Derek, there's not a lot of bite behind the bark of this triple tank setup, so we'll see just how this goes down. And Sharp, he's going to be a constant pain in the rear, literally, where you look at where the rest of the defense is. Sharp is going to be on this left side, constantly harassing the supports in the back, or also Derek if he gets a clean take. But now we see the offense moving in. They got Keller immediately. Derek on top of it on McCree, and now Chicken Ranch Pizza with Sharp going down. They're in a very rough position indeed as the Savages easily saunter onto the point.
Wow, so with Keller going down, the entire team crumbles. Sharp like blinked in, he got hooked in as well by Capo. Very clean take. Like honestly doesn't get much cleaner than that. One is kind of surprised that the defense Chicken Ranch Pizza just wasn't there.
And more importantly here is that we have an Ana in play, which we should have mentioned a little bit earlier, but Ana, she's not dead. She might be on the milk carton, but what we have here is Plasma Soup is going to have Nano Boost up for this next fight, and this is where...
ZP.
What is wrong with Soup? Soup is great.
No, Anna's not on the milk carton, or the Soylent carton. Hello?
Oh my god.
That's a
really, you should buy Soylent though. It's absolutely delicious and nutritious.
Go on, sorry, I interrupted.
Well, you've interrupted, but we've given love to our sponsor, and that's what truly matters. But this is going to be an ultimate showdown between both teams here, and look at this approach coming in. All high ground in from Chicken Ranch Pizza. This is clearly intentional shot calling as Sharp to the back, trying to get the most out of the Discord Orb, gets Kalyun down, completes the chase. Transcendence in progress, and the tire finishes it off. It's a beautiful team fight here for Chicken Ranch Pizza.
I legit think Capo just hooked in the tire into his face and it exploded and killed him. I'm pretty sure that's just what happened there, or that's how it looked like on my screen. That's unfortunate. He tried to kill it, obviously.
I was looking at Sharp, but man, it's a thing where you ride the edge of life and death there, where you think you can kill it, but then it doesn't quite work out that way.
But they get the fight they needed, right? After the first point disappointment, I guess we should say. They're able to put up a Graviton Surge now, an Earth Shatter in just a few seconds, with on the back of a great fight. It actually baited the Graviton. The enemy team Soundbreaker going to be used as well on top of this, and being knocked aside as the Deadeye could pick up a double kill. I think Smurf dropped his shield at the wrong time.
I think, yeah, he did, and Derek gets the cleanup off the Deadeye, moving right in. It's just a great team fight for the Savages, where they're able to take down enough. And now, they even have a Reinhardt battle set up here. Ace of Spades versus Smurf. JCap.
I want to see Reaper. I want to see, like, Keller switch to Reaper or Sharp switch to Reaper. Like, that against triple tank, against Azari as well, who just becomes more powerful the longer the fight goes on. That'd be such a good pickup here, but it seemed to be content on sticking with the Junkrat. They're gonna have to push in. Smurf has to hit a big Earth Shatter, but Ace of Spades has his own to use as well.
This is Rhyme games right now. Pure and simple Rhyme games. Ace of Spades versus Smurf. Who's gonna land the better hammer? And it's Ace of Spades. Knocks down 3. Sharp in the back though, is taking down 1. Lands the pulse bomb, and a 2, 3. Going down to pulse bomb. 4 kills for Sharp. This kid is out of control, and he has given life to Chicken Ranch Pizza.
How do you say that with a straight face, CP?
I was actually wondering that myself as I finished the sentence, but...
It's alive! I'm just imagining Frankenstein keeping the pizza alive. But no, yeah, off the back of a huge triple kill to Sharp. Fantastic. And considering Ace of Spades used his Earth Shatter in this too, where Smurf was able to keep his up, that just gives him such a huge ult advantage. 2.5 minutes left, and they can kind of drag these out a little bit longer.
Well, Sharp putting his carry pants on and then some. Now we move to Hui. Hui, Graviton Surge at the ready. 2.5 minutes left. The Savages would love to get this team fight here. Hui, moving forward, eyeing what's in front of him, drops the Graviton to the back, it connects. Is the fall through going to be there? Smurf drops the Earth Shatter as they move in. Might have been enough. We'll see. Derek uses the Deadeye to get full. Now in and around the point, the barrier has been invested. Keller off the flank, taken down, and the Savages methodically are moving their way through this fight. But Sharp yet lurks. He has another pulse bomb. Don't tell me this is happening again. It's not. Doesn't land the stick. Under pressure, has to get out of there.
And we're seeing again why the power of, or why Ana's powerful. You hit a Bio Grenade. I think that was, yeah, Ace of Spades got a charge up on a Smurf. So the shield wasn't there to block the Bio Grenade within the Graviton Surge, and then everyone fell off the back of that. That was just exactly what Ana's there for. You completely counter out against a trance, you completely turn off that ultimate, and they win the fight.
And Plasma Chalupa's been making it work.
God damn it.
I remember Chalupas, I hope you do too, but here comes the tire from Keller, taken down by Derek. That's usually a big swing in gameplay, but the rip tire down, which is something this offense is well suited in dealing with. They've given themselves an opportunity as Ace of Spades drops the hammer, knocks down 2, but it's not enough as Keller did too much damage to the backline.
How does Keller get a kill on Plasma Burger in the back? That was actually some like big distance he covered there with the jump somehow. He was actually sitting far away too, he didn't jump into him.
Simple geometry, clearly using the bounces of the grenade to get it right to the back. It doesn't matter. Junkrat has been to Fusion University. He knows how this goes.
Well, Keller's now on off the Junkrat onto the Widowmaker. And there's nothing to get to him high ground too. So he's not gonna have much threat against him. That's gonna be a Graviton Surge coming through. Once the shield drops, he's gonna have easy shots or just the easy pulse bomb. As Sharp comes in with another double.
Keller making it look easy. Sharp with the cleanup as well. Of course, that was all set up by Vol on the Graviton. And it's a good re-solidification here by Chicken Ranch Pizza. And Keller dancing with the devil here, being really far out. Now he's going to back up. It's always a little bit scary as Widow when you're that far out, but he knew just how long he could ride the line being out there. And now the offense comes in once more.
I'm just waiting for the memes to come in of I used to be dull, but now I'm sharp. As he just seems to time and time again keep coming with big plays of Transcendence going to come in yet again. The shield's going to drop. I think Smurf lost his shield from the whole hog, and now the Bio Grenade lands perfectly timed out of Plasma Stick.
Meanwhile, no one's looking at Keller. Keller is in his own personal shooting gallery right now. Recon sight up on the top. No one really cares about him. Maybe Lucio would go up, but doesn't really matter. Free reign Widow, and a ground game that is above reproach. Chicken Ranch Pizza gonna hold. Oh no, Keller goes too deep and gets 2 bullets for his trouble. Derek, perhaps with a bit of an opportunity now for the Savages.
Plasma Korean Barbecue's got his nano boost up to give to Derek if he wants to use it. That could be a Electric Cowboy coming in. Keller's actually on the high ground to boop away Keller if he does take his position on his team yet again. Keller's the better of Capo though, as you switch over to Widowmaker, so they get the initial pick, and now they can charge directly into this.
What I'm curious here is, are we going to see an Electric Cowboy? Will Plasma Sub throw the nano boost onto Derek when they need it most? Electric Cowboy is deadly. You don't see it as often as you might think, especially with Ana not being played, but as we enter the final 20 seconds, Jason, we'll see how it goes.
I mean, Plasma Creme Brulee can always throw it onto the Reinhardt if they need for Ace of Spades, so he can swing with the Shatter. It still does a ton of damage, but then again, obviously, the best choice would be the Electric Cowboy if you can use it.
All right, Derek moving his way forward. Oh, sniped out by Keller, immediately domed. That certainly puts a wrinkle in the sails of the Savages. And one shot is all it takes sometimes, Jason, as now Vol is there in the cleanup. It's going to be a hold for Chicken Ranch Pizza.
Well done, considering they lost the first point so quickly. I think they're able to put up a good defense on second, and then into third, they just completely shut that down off the back of Keller and that Widowmaker. For the Savages, though, looking at the attacking phase, they had a clean first point take. I don't know if it would have been that clean if Keller didn't die right off the bat with the Junkrat. I mean, obviously, it's you can't go back in time and change what happened and see how it would have affected things differently. But I think it's up to them now with already being 2 maps down. They need to have a good first point defense. They have to have a good first point defense.
All right, I was about to be very surprised if Plasma Smoothie actually stayed on the Ana there, but he showed Ana, got off the Ana. I assume it's going to be something different here on the defense.
Well, I think Plasma Big Mac has been sticking to Zenyatta most of the time. I mean, I wouldn't be against seeing some Moira here. Moira Lucio, that's a lot of AoE healing.
It is, and it doesn't appear like we're going to be seeing Moira, where I think the cool thing about this support meta right now is that you see a lot of team-specific choices. You're not seeing teams all run the same thing. Some teams value Moira more heavily than others. Some teams value Lucio more heavily than others. And Zen is sort of swapped in between the two of them depending on the map and situation. So I think it's a very healthy thing for the game. And by the way, Gray might have been triggered by seeing an Ana on the other team because he's showing Ana himself, and no, he has to give up his dream, Jason. He's gone Zenyatta.
I still think Ana's really good. Like, I still value her as like a very good support. I can see why people would choose other, heroes over her, but like her sleep dart, the utility she gives to a team is ridiculous. But the Transcendence and the Discord Orb can always help make things a little bit easier for your team, especially if you're like on Sharp. He's already been able to show that he can 1v1 targets. If you give him a Discord target, he can make it even easier. And he's going to be on Widowmaker to start things off with, it looks like.
I would not underestimate Sharp on Widowmaker. Anything that's hit scan, he can play well. Almost takes a bunch of orbs to the face from Plasma Ribs, but you know what? He's not going to be falling to the barbecue today. He's swapping to the Tracer, and he's going back to his tried and true.
Okay, so maybe just trying to look for an early pick. Derek's on the McCree. There's like no way you can go head-tell against this team, so you're going to have to take like right side of point or go in behind them. There's just too much spam with the McCree and the Junkrat. I'm actually going to push directly into them here to try to force a fight, but immediately Ace of Spades goes down as he tries to go for a charge, and Smurf lands one on the Kaloon.
And even worse here, Sharp to the back, going for Plasma, almost one clips him, but the damage was done. The fall through was there, and this is looking clean and easy for Chicken Ranch Pizza. And don't forget here, Jason, if they take this map, they're going to take the series. And for a day that we thought was going to be pretty long, we would be 2/3 of the way through it.
Yeah, it's only 11 p.m. here. I got another couple hours in me. Still a chance that they can come back, the Savages. Graviton coming up soon. Support ultimates are very low. There's a big discrepancy between both teams and supports here. Like 40% difference between Gray and Plasma Snake, and Kaloon is what? Actually, he's been able to catch up because his team's been taking a lot of chip damage from this Keller Junkrat.
Well, the key thing here is that Hui's going to have a pretty quick Graviton built up here. And the Transcendence was burned early, which means if he can just wait, if his team can stay alive, if these ifs become things, he can drop the Graviton, but he drops the Graviton under pressure, and it's the worst case scenario. Nothing happens from the Graviton. It is an abject waste, and now Chicken Ranch Pizza has a lot of room and momentum to work with.
Yeah, but Smurf, he killed the Riptire that was coming in. He killed it off, Capo was throwing at him. He hit him with a Fire Strike to actually finish it off, so he saved 3 people on his team. That could have potentially been a turnaround, but still, it looked like the damage was really done as they lost quite a few people anyway.
So what we have coming up here, Vol has a Graviton, Plasma Egg Roll, Transcendence on deck.
God.
I have tried to break Jason as we go along this as well, but the question here is that will Plasma dive in off the Graviton? Where's the fall through going to be? Keller opens up with the tire here. There's the Graviton, the tire going around, not able to get through, but Sharp does instead. The Big Bang was in the back, the tire merely a distraction. As now, it's even here, 3-on-2-ish, but no, it's going to be Chicken Ranch Pizza getting the point and setting an incredibly quick time, so close to that yellow box victory.
Yeah, Ace of Spades and Plasma Orange Chicken, we're not going to be able to really do much about that at the end. But you still have an Earthshatter for Smurf. He's been sitting on this for such a long time because he hasn't needed to do it. Really reminded me of Super back in the LG Evil days, where he was very cautious about when to use his own Earthshatters. But all they need is one Earthshatter to close off this map, to close off this series, and move through into the winner bracket. Finally.
Smurf. Holding on to the Shatter. Looking to put his team on the top. It does. It's a 3-man Earth Shatter. Smurf clears the way. The barrier coming right in. And Chicken Ranch Pizza looking to put an exclamation point on the series. A clean team fight off a clean initiation. And they just need a little bit more here, Jason. And they will be moving on to the upper bracket finals. Easy stuff for Chicken Ranch Pizza.
Yeah, so I have to correct myself. It's upper bracket semifinal because we're in the quarterfinals at the moment. So I led you wrong. Led you a little astray there. We're getting too distracted by the delicious food that we keep thinking about as we're trying to talk about Plasma Snake.
One thing I want to say about Plasma Snake is that he's incredibly versatile. I think we saw that over the course of the series, and so many different names he could be referred to.
Plasma
so many
sushi?
delicacies.
How did we not even get Plasma Sushi?
I don't know. I'm actually a little bit upset.
Well, we'll be casting them tomorrow, right? So
yeah,
it'll be in the loser bracket. We have to cast the loser matches tomorrow. So it means we have the other quarterfinal to come up today, and then the winner bracket final from these two matches. And then tomorrow we're kicking off all the loser bracket matches until the very end, I believe. No, we do the winner final tomorrow as well. Yeah,
that's a lot of games. We have still plenty of games ahead.
We have Golden Boy joining us tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Yes, the one and only. So I know there's some stuff that came up where he might be pretty busy, but we do hope to have him here. If not, we understand. But guys, we're going to be taking a quick break. When we come back next, it's going to be a matchup that you've definitely seen before, but you also haven't seen before. Kungarna versus Envision, but the rosters are a bit different than what you might remember. This is the Overwatch Beat Invitational Season 3, and we'll be right back.
You've seen before, but you haven't seen before.